Ladies and gentlemen, I will try to communicate my thoughts in a manner that is algorithmically friendly because you just never know what you can say and what you can't say. So if this is reviewed by a human reviewer at YouTube, I am H.A. Goodman. I am a Jewish American. I read what President Trump said on Truth Social. I know a great many people in my community or within my faith or within people that have the same background as me who believe or who agree 100% with what Trump just said. I'm not going to really read it or get into it. I mean, I can. No president has done more for Israel than I am. That's true. Moved the embassy to Jerusalem, signed an executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses. I wrote a Jerusalem Post op-ed on numerous ones, but on one in particular on AOC's revisionist, distorted historical. Yad Vashem had to actually refute AOC's absurd claims regarding Trump's administration and the very bizarre historical equivalency she tried to make. Somewhat surprisingly, however, our wonderful evangelicals are far more appreciative of this than the people. Okay, so especially those living in Israel have a different story. Highest approval rating in the world. That's true. It is one of the highest approval ratings in the world. Israelis love Trump. This is true. Okay, there's nothing anti-Semitic or bigoted about saying this. Highest approval rating in the world. Then he goes U.S. Okay. Must get their act together and appreciate what they have in Israel before it's too late. Okay. Is it crude? Sure. Is it true? Yes. Democrats do not generally... Okay, Democrats of my faith, people of my background, ethnic background, don't really care generally about what happens in Israel. Now, the apoplectic, hysterical response from the people of my background will then the rebuttal will be, oh, that's not true, how dare you. The reality is that Donald Trump, among the most religious people of my faith, is like a hero, very respected. You can go and if you look in Israel, I have family in Israel. I have family who are very religious. They all love Trump, okay? When I was on the left, I knew that I would have to eventually, there would be an issue. Because I was like, wait a second, everybody on the left, most progressives and most liberal Democrats have a real problem with the country I had my bar mitzvah in. So... and you see what's taking place in Berkeley and other places, okay? There's absurd historical revisionist claims from the left, not from conservatives. And so you have this really twisted and despicable Washington Post, Trump attacks people of my community, okay, posting they must get their act together on Israel. Well, it's true. It would be nice if my community got its act together when it came to a country that every person of my faith could go to, God forbid, if there was another 1930s, 1940s situation. That's one of the reasons for that country to exist. But see, again, that concept is very difficult for liberal, wonderful, morally superior liberal Democrats who happen to be in my community, who are generally also atheist, by the way, or agnostic, which is fine. But they don't really see that there's like this connection. They don't see that that country needs to be protected because it's surrounded by other countries or organizations that want to destroy it. They don't see the importance in supporting Israel the way Trump does. Nobody has supported Israel the way Trump has. You can hit subscribe to this channel. I know I'm being very vague and I'm speaking in roundabout terms, but it's true. Most liberal Democrats of my faith don't really care about protecting that country. They don't really care about what that country means to the people of my faith around the world. They don't really understand. they think they do, and what they do is actually deceive themselves and convince themselves, saying, well, if we act in a moral and just way, that'll be the best security possible. And it's like, well, there's a point to that. I used to believe that also. You should correlate national security, or you should correlate a country's safety with morality. You have to do that. I'm not saying you should not do that. But what I'm saying is there's this belief that, well, if we adhere to the liberal democratic political ideology, well, then that's what's best for Israel. Or that's what's best for people of my community. And that's not exactly true. And in fact, that's not true at all. I'm speaking in roundabout terms. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. If you've just logged on to this or watched this, Trump did not attack, he didn't disparage, he didn't demean, he didn't adhere to any anti-Semitic tropes, he didn't say that anyone was loyal, that had some kind of loyalty oath. Or people of my faith, generally, growing up, cared very deeply about the safety and security of Israel. You don't see that nowadays with writers and journalists who happen to be of my religious background and my faith, okay? So, I mean, this is coming from a vantage point, abiding by YouTube policies, okay? I am one of the people that Trump is talking about, and he's 100% right. Now, when he didn't say that you are not who you are, which was definitely a bigoted and prejudicial statement, what he told Charlemagne the God was horrible. Immediately, the Washington Post and the New York Times said, no, it was fine. Trump is worse. If you read the statement, he did not attack. The Washington Post article says, former President Trump attacked him. No, he didn't. In a post, and no, he didn't. Saying that people of my faith in the United States must get their act together. So what if he said that? That's a crude way of speaking, but it's not really like, it doesn't offend me at all. As a Jewish American, it doesn't offend me at all because I do care about Israel, and I know that a great many people of my background don't. They'll side with anyone else but the U.S. and Israel. And so, and show more appreciation for the state of Israel. That's true. People of my background in this country should show more appreciation for that state. It's the only state in the world, it's the only place in the world that is an actual state for people of my background. So anyway, that's not to say that other backgrounds and other people don't live there. Oh my God. I can already see the apoplectic hysterical response from the morally superior among us who vote alongside the Lincoln Project and Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld Republicans who actually tried, and President Obama who destabilized Libya and numerous other countries in that region. Then it goes to the next paragraph. People of my faith have long been accused of holding secret loyalty to... What secret loyalty? Who's accusing any secret loyalty? And Trump's post leaned on that anti-Semitic trope. No, it didn't. What are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about, Washington Post? What on earth are you talking about? This is how they spread lies about Trump. It is true. Democrats of my faith don't really care about that country. They don't really. They care about the Democratic Party first. That is 100% accurate. If Biden said right now that he wanted to partition the country into Israel, most Democrats would be, yeah, no, that's a good idea. They should do that. They wouldn't think twice. They wouldn't think twice. They have no, it's not about loyalty or allegiance. It's about caring for another country. Just the way other backgrounds care about a country that exists, for their background or ethnicity or faith or what have you. My loyalty or allegiance or where I live is where my loyalty resides. So I'm an American citizen and my loyalty rests with this country, the United States of America. I have a ancestral or, ethnic tie, religious, maybe spiritual also, to Israel. Okay. I have family there. I had my bar mitzvah there. And so, growing up in a religious Hebrew school, you realize that there's only one country that you could run to if, for example, Democrats in this country started carving up people by background and saying, no, you can't go here, you can't go there. And that's happening also in college campuses. And it was only Trump who signed an executive order combating anti-Semitism. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Israelis love Trump. The most religious among my faith love Trump. So it's like, you know what? It is true. Democrats really don't care about the country I had my bar mitzvah in. They really don't. And if the truth hurts, then I mean that's just the reality of the situation. They care they care as much as the Democratic Party will allow them to care. If it was a Democratic Party platform to, let's say, side with one, adversary of that country, they would, and they'd convince themselves into thinking it's good for, the country where I had my bar mitzvah. And anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. Speaking in roundabout terms, because it's like you don't know what you can talk about, and it's just so difficult always. But if there's a human reviewer that looks at this, I've abided exactly by YouTube policies, and I am a Jewish American, and I'm telling you right now, the Washington Post is making absurd leaps of logic. And everybody, USA Today, or was it USA Today? The Washington Post and others, I don't know, have made absurd leaps of logic pertaining to this Truth Social post. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very, very